The first Rebbe of Chabad was Rabbi Shner Zalman. Here's a picture of him. First Rebbe. He wrote the Tanya, book the Tanya, also with the Shulchan Aruch. He was the founder of this whole. That's what we learn in the morning, Torah or soon we'll learn Likuti Torah. So he had a lot of enemies, and they slandered him to the Russian government, and that he was trying to make a revolution. He was trying to make a whatever it is a with a unity with the government of Turkey, and they were going to fight from the inside, from the outside. And they made up in a whole big story, and they forged papers, and the whole thing was so. They did such a good job. His opposition were religious Jews. They called themselves the Mitnagdim, and they were religious Jews, and they did such a good job at forging and weaving this whole web of accusations around the Rebbe that he was arrested. They sent soldiers out to arrest him. So the Rebbe knew what was happening, and he ran away. He knew they came to his front door, and he ran out the back door, and he ran. As far as I understand the story, he ran and he hid somewhere in a cemetery. He was hiding from them until they went away. Well, it happened to be that in that cemetery or on the way, whatever was one of his pupils, and the pupil's name was Shmuel Munkes. Shmuel Munkes was a great, very great genius, but he also was a joker. He had a very good sense of humor. And they asked the Rebbe, "What are you doing over here in the graveyard?" So he said, "I'm running away from the soldiers. They want to arrest me. They'll kill me." So he said, "I'm surprised at you." He says, "In any case, if you are really a Rebbe and you claim to be, then nothing's going to happen to you. Nothing will happen to you. And if you're not a Rebbe, then you deserve to get punished because you wrecked up this world for so many people." What does it mean? That the Rebbe stressed that no matter what you do to serve God, and you have to serve God with happiness, but you can never be satisfied with the service of God. You can never say, I did it. There's always more to be done. So you wrecked up the world for so many people, so you deserve to get punished. So the Rebbe said, "Okay, I understand." And he went and he gave himself over. And that was the whole story. He was arrested, and miraculously he was released 53 days later. Afterwards, he asked Shmuel Munkes, "Where did you get this idea from? That if I'm a Rebbe, nothing's going to happen to me. If I'm not a Rebbe." So he said, "I'll tell you." He said, "Once I had to go somewhere, very important, and I couldn't find a wagon driver. And I finally found someone, but his horse he only had one horse on his wagon, and he didn't want to go because in order to get where I'm going, there was this steep descent, the steep decline, whatever it's called, going down. And you have to have like two horses in order to hold on to the carriage. You have to be, because it's not easy to do." So I told him not to worry. I told him that I'm a big tzaddik and nothing is going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. It'll be okay. Because I really had to go there. I really had to go to this place, wherever it was. So we did. We went in we got in the carriage and we started traveling. And sure enough, we came to this big, steep, what is it called? Decline. They have to go down. And it was going okay in the beginning. The horse was going okay. And then somehow or other, the horse sort of slipped and the carriage started to go weaving all around and it broke loose from the horse, whatever. Anyway, the carriage went smashing in at the end of this hill. There was a house, a really nice house, and there was this man sitting on the porch, a non-Jewish man, a big, whatever it is, a big duke or a poritz, whatever, a landowner. And the wagon went smashing into the porch where this man was sitting, and it almost killed him. And it did tremendous damage to the porch and everything like that. So the man, the owner of the place was just blazing angry, really angry. And he didn't, Jews are also not held in such great favor. And so the man held out, Shalom Abba. I'm just telling him a story. Maybe I should start the story again in a short way. the Alter Rebbe, when the Alter Rebbe was running away from the Tsar's soldiers, so he went and he hid in he ran away and he hid in a cemetery. And Shmuel Munkes, one of his Chassidim, said to him, if you're a Rebbe, they can't do anything to you. And if you're not a Rebbe, then you deserve to get punished for wrecking up this world for so many people. Because the Rebbe said that no matter what you do, you can never be satisfied. You have to always do more. You have to be happy always, but you can never be satisfied. So he said, you deserve it. So the Alter Rebbe gave himself over, and there was the whole miracle of Yutet Kislev. Afterwards, the Alter Rebbe came out and he said, where did you get this idea from? So Shmuel Munkes said, once I had to go to some place that was very important to me, and I took a wagon driver that he didn't want to go because he had only one horse, and he said that that one horse was not enough to stop the carriage from going down. There was a severe hill that they had, a deep descent that they had to go down this hill, and he had to have two horses to hold it back. So I said to this man, listen, I'm a big tzaddik. You don't have to worry about it. My holiness will protect you. So they said, okay. So he took me, and sure enough, the one horse wasn't enough, and the wagon became free, and it smashed into this house, which was at the end of this hill. There was a turn, smashed into the house. There was this rich man sitting on the porch, a Gentile sitting on the porch, and wrecked the guy's porch, almost killed him. He became tremendously mad, angry, and he came out with a big club to beat us. And the driver, he said, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. He pointed at me. He was the one that told me to do it. He was the one he pointed at me. And somehow miraculously, they got out of it. They got out of it. So he said, so I asked the wagon driver, why did you do a thing like that? Why did you point at me? Right? It's like giving a Jew over to be beaten, to be killed. Why did you do it? So the wagon driver said, you told me you were a big tzaddik. If you were a big tzaddik, like you say, so this man wouldn't be able to do anything to it. And if not, you deserve it for wrecking my horse and my carriage. He said, that's how I knew what to say to you to give yourself over to this. If it wouldn't have been for that advice, then we wouldn't have the holiday of Yutet Kislev today, and we wouldn't have all the tremendous, I'd say, volumes of Chassidut that have been written afterwards. So in the end, all difficulties have good results. Have a good day with Mashiach now. Thanks for coming.